Admiral Zektar of the Hegemony Fleet stared at the tactical display with growing unease. The blue marble that the humans called Earth hung in space before his armada, seemingly defenseless. 48 hours ago, his technicians had successfully deployed the most sophisticated jamming array ever constructed, a network of quantum interference satellites that could silence any electromagnetic communication within a dozen light years. The humans had fallen silent, just as predicted. So why? Did victory taste like ash in his mandibles? Admiral, Communications Officer Veloth reported, her voice trembling through the translator. We're receiving surrender broadcasts from 17 different sectors. Excellent, Zektar clicked. How many human colonies are capitulating? None, sir. Veloth's chromatophores flickered nervous purple. The surrenders are coming from our colonies, and the Krex Empire, and the Valdoran Republic. The bridge fell silent except for the hum of life support systems. Zektar's primary eyes focused sharply on his communications officer, while his secondary eyes continued monitoring the tactical display. Elaborate. Sir, it appears that when we jammed Earth's communications, we also jammed our own, and everyone else's. The entire galactic communication network has gone dark. In the depths of Earth's Antarctic communication complex, Dr. Sarah Chen watched the cascade failure propagate across her holographic display with something between horror and admiration. The alien jamming satellites, clearly designed to target Earth's primitive radio transmissions, had instead created a resonance cascade through humanity's actual communication network. Status report, she commanded. The quantum entanglement. Relays are operating at full capacity, reported her assistant Marcus Webb. The hegemony jamming array interfered with our decoy radio signals exactly as we hoped. They have no idea we've been using instantaneous quantum communication for the past 30 years. Dr. Chen nodded grimly. The old radio towers and satellite arrays were just for show now, maintained to make visiting aliens believe humanity was still dependent on primitive electromagnetic signals. The real network, the one that connected Earth to its colonies across the galaxy through quantum-paired particles, remained completely unaffected. But the aliens' jamming field had done something unexpected. It had created a destructive interference pattern that didn't just block radio waves, it created a dead zone for all forms of electromagnetic communication within an expanding sphere. How far has the effect spread? Chen asked. 12 light years and growing. Every civilization that relies on traditional radio, subspace, or hyperwave communication is now cut off from their governments, their families, their fleets. Marcus pulled up a galactic map dotted with red zones. It's beautiful in its terrible efficiency. And our colonies? All quantum-linked settlements report normal operations. They're actually expanding their mining and terraforming operations now that the alien patrol fleets can't coordinate. Above Earth, Admiral Zektar was discovering the magnitude of his miscalculation. His fleet of 300 vessels was now effectively 300 isolated islands, unable to communicate with each other or coordinate attacks. Worse, the jamming effect was expanding, cutting off his connection to the hegemony homeworld. Sir, his tactical officer reported through hand signals. They'd reverted to visual communication. We're detecting ships moving in the outer system. The main screen shifted to show sleek vessels emerging from behind Jupiter's moons. Then more from the asteroid belt. Then from the direction of Mars. Ships that moved with purpose and perfect coordination despite the communication blackout. How are they coordinating? Zektar demanded. His science officer, a thin creature with multiple appendages, manipulated a manual interface. "Unknown, Admiral. Our sensors detect no communication signals of any type. It's as if they're operating with a shared mind." On the bridge of the UN's Quantum Dawn, Captain Elena Vasquez smiled as she received instantaneous updates from Earth Command through her quantum communication implant. The alien fleet was scattered, confused, and completely unaware that humanity's ships were in constant contact through quantum entanglement networks. "All ships, execute flanking maneuver 7, she transmitted through quantum burst to the human fleet. "Remember, we're not here to destroy them. We're here to make a point." The human vessels moved like a school of fish, each ship perfectly positioned relative to the others despite maintaining complete electromagnetic silence. They surrounded the alien fleet in a complex three-dimensional formation that demonstrated tactical coordination the hegemony had never seen. Admiral Zektar watched in growing horror as 300 human ships took position around his fleet. They could have annihilated his armada 10 times over, but instead they simply waited. A single message pod was launched from the lead human vessel, a primitive mechanical device that relied on no electronics whatsoever. When it reached Zektar's flagship, it released a simple printed message in perfect hegemony script. "Your jamming technology has been a gift to humanity. By silencing our fake radio signals, you have accidentally silenced the entire galaxy. Every empire, every federation, every alliance that relied on electromagnetic communication is now cut off. But we are not. We offer you a choice. Withdraw your fleet and end this pointless invasion, or remain here while your empire collapses into chaos, unable to coordinate responses to human expansion across the galaxy. We have turned off your lights. We can turn them back on when you learn to behave." Within 6 hours, the hegemony fleet was in full retreat, desperately trying to escape the expanding jamming field they had created. But by then, the effect had reached their nearest outposts, and panic was spreading faster than their ships could fly. Dr. Chen watched the tactical display as alien vessels fled in all directions, some attempting to carry physical messages back to their governments, others simply abandoning their positions entirely. "Shall we restore galactic communications?" Marcus asked. "Not yet," Chen replied. "Let them sit in the dark for a while. Let them understand what it means to be truly alone. When they're ready to discuss terms for peaceful coexistence, they'll find a way to ask." She turned back to her console, where quantum signals carried reports from human colonies across the galaxy. In the chaos of the communication blackout, humanity's quantum-linked settlements had expanded into 17 new systems, established first contact with 6 previously unknown species, and begun construction of 3 new deep space research stations. "Besides," Chen added with a slight smile, "we're rather enjoying the quiet." Across the galaxy, as empires struggled with the sudden silence and isolation, only one species continued its steady expansion among the stars, connected by invisible threads of quantum entanglement, coordinated by the strange alchemy of shared consciousness that arose when humans were truly united in purpose. They had tried to silence Earth. Instead, they had given humanity the galaxy.